Hi everyone, welcome to Shivers. Today we're reviewing the new movie Night Swim, which hit theaters this past Friday, January 5th, 2024. We start the movie with a flashback, showing a family with a sick son living in our main house with a pool in the backyard. The little girl of this family sees the pool light up at night and goes outside to see her brother's toy floating in it. She tries to grab the toy but falls in and basically is sucked up by the pool, her body disappearing. We don't see any more of that, but we now flash forward in present time to our main family, the Waller family. The dad, Ray Waller, was a famous baseball player who is now struggling with MS. His wife, Eve, got a new job at a school far away, so the family is forced to move. The doctors note that Ray's MS is getting worse, so they recommend him start doing some light therapy or water therapy. The family goes house shopping and finds the home with the pool that we started the film seeing, and of course they buy the house. Everything is good and normal, and Ray seems to be progressing well with the water therapy, but almost too well. They go back to the doctor and they've never seen such a rapid progression in positive momentum of stopping the spread of MS through his body. Eve goes swimming at night and starts to see apparitions outside the water. She's so scared that she tells the kids that they can't swim alone. As Ray becomes more and more obsessed with the pool since it is making him better and giving him hope for his baseball career resurgence. As the movie progresses, each of the family members begin seeing apparitions when swimming in the pool by themselves. Their son, Elliot, speaks to one of the apparitions, and this ghost, I guess you can say, says that her name is Rebecca and she's looking for her mother. Elliot brings this up to Eve and she does some digging, finding out that the girl we saw in the very beginning is Rebecca, the one that disappeared when she was trying to grab her brother's toy. Eve visits the home of Rebecca's mother, and her mother is wild. She's very old now, says that she only has one son, which is the son that was sick, but he's healthy and he's a doctor and he's grown and he's abundant and all of these good things, and basically denies that she ever even had Rebecca as a child. After Eve pries, this mother goes crazy and starts crying black tears, and black water starts coming out of her ears. And she tells Eve of the lore of the pool, saying that the pool that is in the backyard of that house is tapped into groundwater and some natural spring. And back in the day, before houses were even built or anything was up and running, this spring water would grant wishes. It's as if you threw a coin into the water and asked for a wish and got it. So that's essentially what this pool is acting of anybody who swims in this water. If they have a wish, they will get their wish. So seemingly, Ray is getting his wish of being able to play basketball or baseball again, And in order for that wish to come true, a sacrifice has to be made. So for Rebecca and that family, Rebecca had to die in order for her sick brother to get better. And the mother was okay with that, apparently. So Eve says, enough of this nonsense, we're just going to close the pool. She then tries to close the pool. Ray goes insane. Again, seemingly possessed by the water. He's crying black tears and black water's running out of his ears and everything like that. And then we hit the final scene. So the family is basically tiptoeing around the house trying to get away from Ray. And Ray then says that Elliot, their little boy, is the one who needs to be sacrificed to the water because he's weak and not really equipped to live a long, good life. So Eve, of course, doesn't listen to any of this, runs into the water that Elliot is already sinking into, basically entering in the ether, and saves Elliot, brings him back to the surface. And then we have this whole chaotic ending scene. Their daughter hits Ray with a baseball, which is also very symbolic of him not being able to play baseball anymore. And Eve explains the lore and tries to basically wake her husband up to reality. He comes back, but then realizes that the water is always going to be needing something from him since it's inside his body, basically possessing him. So he dives into the water and gets sucked up, and then his body is nowhere to be found. So he's not only the wish, but also the sacrifice. So we end the movie with the three of them, Eve and the two kids, filling the pool with dirt the next day, and that's how the movie ends. So on a scale of 1 to 5 from the Shiver scale, for story itself, I have to give it a 1 out of 5. There's only so much you can do to a story about a haunted pool. It's not scary. It's really not worth making a movie about, in my opinion. So I would give it a 1 out of 5. For originality, though, I would give it a 4 out of 5. Just because it's original doesn't mean it's good, but it is original. You've never seen a movie about a haunted swimming pool before, so it is something different. For acting, I would give it a 4 out of 5. This is what really made the movie worthwhile, in my opinion. I think the actors were all really great. It made it feel like a believable Blumhouse good movie. And then production for the same thing. We don't see a whole lot of scenes, so we're mostly focused on the backyard of this house. So there's not a whole lot of setting, there's not a lot of change throughout the movie, but the production itself is, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. It feels like a good movie. It doesn't feel low budget at all. And then for scares, I would have to go a 1 out of 5. It's not a scary movie, and I believe it's rated R, and I have no idea why. They barely curse. There's some blood in the ending scene, and when he cuts his hand when he's cleaning out the pool in the beginning, but it's not scary, and we barely see any of the apparitions that are in the actual pool. I think on purpose to make them ghostly, but they're not scary. So all in all, that gives this movie a score of 2.8 out of 5. Kind of crappy. All in all, I thought this movie was good with the acting and the value and the production, but again, you can polish poop until it's not poop anymore. It's just a crappy story. And after looking into it, this was originally a short story, a short horror film that they then adapted. And I could see this working very well for a short story, a short horror film, in getting to the point of being original, of being different, of being very artsy, of that wish fulfillment, of a sacrifice, and everything that we talked about. But to stretch that out over a 2-hour period of time, and again, getting back to the root that this is a story about a haunted pool, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. A couple other things to mention. I thought that having the ending being that he sacrificed himself for his family, but they didn't get their wish then. Nobody got a wish, and there's just a loose sacrifice on the table, defeated the entire purpose of the lore. And then for them to fill it with dirt, I think was a missed opportunity. They could have ended it in a true scary movie fashion of somebody else moving into this house. And also, because I'm a big fan of Sinister, they had a pool party in the middle of the movie, and the little boy set up a camcorder to record the party. And one of the videos in Sinister is called Pool Party. So again, such a missed opportunity for there to be some sort of an Easter egg for that tie to Sinister, especially if somebody were to move into that house and then it all kicks off again. So I think a lot of missed opportunities. I think a lot of details that were in there to make it seem more interesting that just didn't work. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this movie, but if you want something, you're really bored on a Saturday afternoon, it might be something worth watching. Or, even if you want some summertime scares of going swimming in a pool in the summertime. But to come out with this movie in January, when no one's swimming in a pool right now, and not a very good story, all in all, I just don't think it necessarily works. But let me know what you think. If you saw the movie, if you're anticipating the movie, let me know your thoughts. I'm definitely open to changing my mind, but that is the first review of 2024. So hopefully only up from here. Thank you for listening.